It's one of the reasons I came here is to win a Calder Cup. I know there's high expectations from the first day I set foot in Hershey. I was approached by 3 different people, just random people, and they said, well, it's been a while since you won a cup. And I said, well, hopefully we can provide that for you this year. That's our goal. It's everybody's goal in the league. And so, but I understand the storied tradition here. I know what it takes to win a championship. I feel that our team is poised and positioned well. I think that we have the right pieces. We just got to make sure that they're all clicking on all cylinders, and that's my job.
What's the biggest adjustment you have to make as a coach?
You know, as a coaching staff, we'll have to go into a deep dive and make sure we dissect how a certain team's going to play, and then devise tactics against that. And as for players, it's a whole different season for players. It's a time of year where players get defined, and because there's a lot on the line. And I think you know, sometimes players have a great regular season, but they don't show up in playoffs. Sometimes players are average during the season, and then they excel in playoffs. So it's a time of year where people are defined.
For the young guys on the team that haven't been through this, do you approach some of the older vets and say, I need you to talk to some guys about this time of year?
Well, yeah, I talked about it this morning with Dylan and Mike Vecchione. I just showed them some highlights of some of the games we're seeing around the league and how intense they are. And I said, we got to make sure our guys are ready for this. And so it's very intense. You watch the NHL, watch the American Hockey League. Teams are playing for keeps. It's the best time of year, but it's really intense. And to be successful, as you said, like, we have to make sure that we're playing physical, but being very disciplined out there.
How do you go about managing the workload right now, being that you guys have got some time off, which is nice, but hey, let's not get rusty?
You know, we talked about it as a staff, and we gave them 2 days off after the regular season. Then the 2 days following, they were work days where we worked on their conditioning, and we worked them really hard. And then just to break things up, we have our player development guys in town, and so today is just a skills practice where they're just working on their basic puck skills and their skating skills. And then we'll resume practice tomorrow, and then we'll see how the series go in the next few days, because that'll determine how we prepare for the next following days before the games. But we want to include a few scrimmages to get that competitiveness in there, and because, you know, a 5-game series is a short series. Things can happen real quick, so we got to make sure that our team's ready.
You guys displayed great depth down the stretch and worked a lot of guys in when it comes down to playoff time. How do you go about keeping those guys fresh and maybe rotating them in versus maybe keeping the hot hands on the ice together?
Well, I think, you know, as a staff, we have to talk about that because we have so much depth. We've won with every player that's on the ice right now. They've all contributed in different ways, and so we got to make sure that we see the right fit going into the particular team we're playing against. If we're playing against a fast team, we might have a few different guys go in. If we're playing against a heavier team, that might change as well. So that's a constant. Like, you play a game, and if you like the way your team played and you had success, nothing's really going to change. But if you don't, you have to take a good hard look and make sure that you get the right formula, because we have a lot of good hockey players, but right now and we're all healthy. And so right now it's just a matter of us making it all fit.
Is there a mental aspect to the player side of it, making sure that they're locked in? As I said, with great depth, some guys are going to be healthy scratches and maybe just don't get the call like they had hoped based on matchups.
Well, it's tough on players that maybe don't fit into the lineup right away, but they have to be ready. You know, years ago when I was with Dallas, we had good depth, but we had to use everybody. We went to the Stanley Cup final that year, and a lot of guys get banged up. If your team's playing hard, the injury's going to happen. But it's a time of year where guys have to be selfless, and they all have to stick together and work together for the common good, and that's winning the Calder Cup. And you know, it's hard because everybody wants to play, and if you're not in the lineup, the guys have to work hard, make sure they're ready, because if they're called upon, they'll be put into certain roles that are very important, and they have to be ready.
How's your excitement level for this time of the year compared to the regular season?
Oh, it's totally different. I wouldn't say a different feeling. During the regular season, like, it's more or less a marathon. You're getting through the season trying to compile points to get you in a good spot for playoffs, and now it's everything's it's narrowed down. And the thing is that everybody gets excited. I do. I've been very fortunate in the past to have some success, and I just know it's the greatest time of year. The weather's nice, the fans are excited, and it's always exciting times. So, just like I said, we just got to make sure that we have the right frame of mind going to playoffs and understand it's go time now.
Do you have any superstitions?
I'm always superstitious. I got many of them. It goes from when I wake up in the morning, and so it's just something that I always had, and I don't know. Probably has nothing to do with anything, but if you feel in your body that you're doing the right things over the course of the day with your routine, it'll end up working out for you in the end.
How do you and your staff's personalities change during the playoffs?
Well, I think now what's going to happen is, well, what I've always done in the past, which I will do this year, is during the course of the season, let's face it, the American Hockey League is a development league as well, right? Besides, we want to win the cup, but also we have to develop players. So I didn't do a whole lot of line matching this season, maybe with the last 5 minutes. If I didn't feel the game was going very well in our direction, where this certain line is having a tough time against this line, I'd shorten the bench, and you'll probably see a lot more of that in the playoffs. And like once we find out who we're going to play against, then we'll get their lines and we'll see, okay, what's a good matchup. We'll do our analytics to see what line matches up against this line, which deep pairing fits in, what personnel fits in better against a certain team. So it gets really magnified during playoffs, because if you don't win your last game in playoffs, you're going home.